Emmanuel Acho, give us your top 10 quarterbacks in football right now.
Stafford at 10, Cousins is 11.
No Trevor Lawrence.
Nah, I need to see more.
Welcome back to another episode Caps Off by the Game Day. That was weird. You were mouthing it.
Did we all do
heard
it?
it
I mean,
still.
I started late.
Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off by the Game Day.
Are we doing that by ourselves, like all together now?
Because it was
Yeah,
no,
3,
it wasn't.
2, 1.
Welcome
back to another episode
of
of
Caps Off
by the Game Day.
It was coming out of my mouth, but I heard it coming out of your mouth.
Do you have a dog as
Caps
the
off?
wallpaper?
Yeah, my girlfriend made my background a dachshund. Look at it.
What's her name?
My dog.
I don't like those
have a
dogs.
dog.
I don't like those dogs
No,
either.
what's the girlfriend's
They're
name?
those are the wiener
girlfriend.
ones.
Way to hide it. I'm like Adam.
But yeah, you know,
Adam always goes,
whatever.
You
Doesn't
never say
matter.
it, man.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't need to be exposing
we're public
myself.
figures.
Exactly.
Break it down.
Exactly. Well, a lot of.
I'm so lost.
Is
All
it-
I know is Saquon didn't get a contract, bro.
I know.
Good segue, bro.
Nice,
That's all
dude.
I know.
Before we jump into that, what we got going on today?
We do have something good
we
going
have
on.
some big stuff. You better stick around for the end of this episode.
Because
yeah,
Ben
'cause
Wolfen's
the Giants
coming on.
and the Reds are finishing up their 2-2 ball game
true.
in the
That's
bottom
true.
of the 8th
That's
at
true.
5:40 p.m.
Dude, fuck
today.
yeah. Who watched the Rangers and Mariners last night?
All right, yo, we have
No,
a
the Rays.
super
Rays
special
beat the Rays.
guest at the end of this episode.
Actually
We
beat
got
the
the one and only Emmanuel Acho coming on the show.
It's about time.
So you better stick
To a
around.
truther.
You better stick around. To a truther. We
Is
are
he a
his
member
disciples.
of Tuanon?
And we've been preaching his ways for as long as we can. So
Tuanon might have dropped him because
I think
after
they
he had
did,
been
'cause
going
he
crazy and then
backpedaled,
he
didn't he?
backed. No, he didn't backpedal, but like he was so outspoken and then Tua got hurt and
we were
started
supposed to have
shitting
Acho on the pod like months ago, and he said when Tua wins this weekend, I'll come on.
It was
And then
against the
Tua
Chargers
lost.
prime
Tua's fault.
time.
And then Tua lost. So
it's
I
Tua's
blame
fault.
Tua.
Was it?
No one else's fault but Tua.
Was that Sunday Night Football against the Chargers when Tua shit the bed?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It was so
Do you remember
bad,
that game,
bro.
Adam?
Yeah, it was
Tua
so
had
bad.
like a 12
so
QBR.
bad.
And Justin Herbert went crazy.
I've never been
Yeah.
more confident in winning that game. And
But
Bro,
yeah,
that was actually
Bro,
so
but
bad.
I've never been more of a Dolphins fan. I'm like, come on, we need this. We need Acho.
Herbert looked so good that night,
Yeah,
bro.
bro, he's cooking.
Yeah, but he is the social media quarterback, and we're gonna have Acho on later at the end of this pod. You better stick around for the entire interview and conversation
bro.
with Emmanuel Acho.
That's
We're
gonna
gonna
be
talk
crazy.
through
That's insane.
it all.
I'm gonna
We're
ask him
talk
what he
through
thinks
it
about
all.
Tua.
I need
Yeah.
to talk to. I'm gonna be. Y'all can talk football with him. I'm gonna talk Bachelor. I
Yeah.
need to talk to him. About
Well, now that we had Brad from PFF on yesterday, and he said that, well, I guess 2 days ago, because he's coming on Wednesday, and he said that Dak is better than Jalen Hurts. I need confirmation from Acho. I don't know. He's not going to do it, because I know I've seen his little
Jalen
speed.
is
you know,
real.
really, Acho's the
He's also
second,
an Eagles guy, right? Acho.
Yeah, for the
Yeah, he
Eagles,
used to be.
yeah, he played for the
Dude,
Eagles.
but
he's from
Acho's gonna
Dallas.
be the second guy with a Bachelor affiliation.
That's
that
true.
We've had on.
I didn't think
Because
about
Mike
that.
Renner
Yo, should we
was
be?
on the
Should we all
Bachelorette.
host The Bachelor?
Yeah, I
Bro,
think
That
so.
I feel
sounds
like you could do that.
Sure.
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 All right, but
You're
yeah,
just loud enough.
Saquon did not get a contract yesterday.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Which was the
He
deadline.
wasn't the only one either.
He was not.
Josh
the only
Jacobs
one.
didn't get a
Jacobs.
contract. Tony Pollard didn't get a contract.
But I don't
And to
like that.
nobody's surprise,
I was like, to be honest,
everyone
like,
freaked out.
I was
Pollard
like,
shouldn't be in that conversation, though, because he had
he
1 year last year where he split duties.
I
Like,
agreed.
he's
so
not
he
a
hasn't had a
franchise.
year where he's been a starter yet.
He's not like the
Splitting
franchise
duties,
guy
yeah.
like Jacobs and like Saquon.
But those were the three
But
guys
those were the
that
three
franchise
big
tagged.
names franchise tag.
And as a result, running backs were going crazy.
Yo, so break down. Who was it that tweeted this?
So NFL Draft Scout Matt Miller on
Draft
Twitter.
Scout.
Yeah, so ESPN NFL Draft Analyst and Insider. His handle is NFL Draft Scout. He tweeted, been saying it for years. Number one, draft a running back. Number two, play the running back. If he's good, number three, franchise tag the running back one time and then
Let
go
him
back
walk.
to number one, draft a running back. So essentially let him go and just kind of renew that cycle. And that sparked a lot of controversy from a lot of running backs all over the place.
Yep.
Who was it that responded first?
JT
Jonathan
responded
Taylor?
first.
Jonathan Taylor said something.
Saquon was just like, it is what it is.
So
Derrick
JT was funny because he had his own little, like, he responded in the same way. So number one, if you're good enough, they'll find you, which is, again, like the draft.
Yeah.
Number two, if you work hard enough, you'll succeed. And then if you succeed, number three, you boost the organization, and then, doesn't matter, you're a running back. So, again, like, they're going to draft another running back. So he responded. I mean, you had Eckler coming out. Like, this is the kind of trash that has artificially devalued one of the most important positions in the game, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, everybody said the same thing. Christian McCaffrey said this is criminal. 3 of the best players in the entire league, whatever.
I mean,
So-
I
Derrick-
kind of
Derrick Henry went
I
crazy.
agree with kind of both sides.
Totally.
Here, because on the one hand, it's like, yeah, these guys, not only are they like working their asses off and then performing and then therefore boosting the team, they're also in the most dangerous position in the NFL.
Well, they're just
Oh,
taking
yeah.
the biggest.
Arguably, they're taking the most hits. They're putting the biggest toll on their body of any position. Maybe quarterback when you get sacked, but like they're not running through the gap like through the offensive line
Totally.
scrum every single time.
I'm
You know
on
what I
both
mean?
sides as well.
So like those guys are putting their literal bodies on the line. So is every position, but I think more so than any other position, and deserve to be compensated.
Yeah,
But
but
at the end of the day, the NFL is a business, and these are business decisions they're making, and all the analytics and everything tell you. And I think we can all tell that great teams do not need a star running back to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly. You bring up business decisions. Business decisions are made off of analytics a lot of the
Financially,
times.
yeah.
And I totally agree. Running backs should get paid. They're one of the sexiest positions. They're one of the most valuable positions in terms of putting points on the board. But the biggest issue comes down to running backs can complain all they want about not getting paid, but until you show that you are the difference maker in winning a Super Bowl, you will not get paid. And that's the unfortunate part about looking at the analytics, because over the last 10 years, if we look back at the Bucks, the Chiefs, the Patriots, Eagles in 2017, 2016 Patriots, it goes back all the way to 2009. The leading rusher on the Super Bowl winning team, the highest paid one was Leonard Fournette, who was making $2 million as his base salary in 2020.
What were some of the running backs too? Like
Some of those running backs were Leonard Fournette, Damian Williams on the Chiefs, Sony Michel on the Patriots, LeGarrette Blount on the Eagles, LeGarrette Blount again on the Patriots. Ooh, C.J. Anderson on the Broncos, LeGarrette Blount again on the Patriots. Shout out Blount. Seahawks, Percy Harvin, Ravens, Ray Rice, Giants, Ahmad Bradshaw, Packers, James Stark, Saints, Pierre Thomas.
Ray Rice, I would say, is the only exception. Ray Rice was one of the best.
And also
running
the-
backs.
But
the
he,
Seahawks-
I'm talking about what
the
you're being
Seahawks
paid.
Super Bowl. Like Marshawn Lynch was the running back, but he wasn't like the.
Correct.
also,
had the
Ray
most
Rice on a
yards.
rookie contract, I
that's-
believe.
Yeah, okay, well, that would make more sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, until I agree, running backs need to get paid. Austin Eckler can complain. Derrick Henry, the media, we have devalued the position, but that's also because if we look at the numbers, there's not one of these superstar running backs that have been on a team that's even gotten past the first or second round outside of Christian McCaffrey. Don't you have a stat
I have
to
a
prove
stat,
that?
yeah.
Let's look at the top 10 rushers in terms of average annual value of last year, and let's see how well that team did.
Yeah, so this is just AAV, average annual value. First highest paid running back last year is Christian McCaffrey with the 49ers, but they
They
traded
traded
for him
for him
midseason.
and gave him the contract
Yeah, so-
also.
and the
So,
Panthers,
like,
I'm pretty sure, paid for
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey last year.
yeah.
Then you go Ezekiel Elliott,
Okay.
Cowboys. Alvin Kamara with the Saints.
Yep.
Dalvin Cook with the Vikings.
Yep. Checks out.
Derrick Henry with the Titans.
All
Yep.
older guys.
Yep. Nick Chubb with
Yep.
Cleveland. Joe Mixon with the Bengals. They did well. They went. The only teams that went far. I
But
think.
Joe was
that-
also
Yeah, but he didn't really do shit. Aaron Jones with Green Bay, Saquon with the Giants, then Leonard Fournette in Tampa.
Exactly.
Oh, and James Conner.
I would argue that like the only one there that actually improved their team
Saquon.
was Saquon.
Well, he accounted for 40% of
They
their
improved their
offense.
team. Christian McCaffrey.
100%.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
could
it's
have
hard to
been
it's hard to
successful.
it's hard to quantify.
But also the 49ers probably could have still gone just as
Yeah,
far.
there's no
without-
quantifying that.
Not to discredit anything with Christian McCaffrey's done. That's just
So
Kyle
what you were
Shanahan's
saying,
system.
you said before, you were like, running backs, you need to go prove that you actually
Correct.
help teams win Super Bowls. That's not on any one individual because there are players who can do that, but it's only the superstars. It's the Saquons, it's the Christian
Absolutely.
McCaffreys.
But
As
when you
it's not
think
even.
of
It's
general-
not those guys.
No,
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 they
I'm-
can't do it themselves.
I agree.
Exactly.
I'm
No,
a-
but I'm saying, but in
Yeah.
general,
Okay.
like Jack was saying, in general, the running back position can be more plug and play than any other position.
yeah,
Correct.
I'm gonna
Of
be
like,
honest,
if you
though,
have a
like-
guy who is NFL level talent behind a strong enough offensive line, that NFL level talent doesn't matter if you're the best or the worst. If you are NFL level talent running
Correct.
back, you can
You will
make
succeed.
You
Why
will
Miles
succeed.
Sanders went and got the
behind
bag.
a good offensive
Well,
line.
like I think out of the last like 10 years, though, there's really only 3 running backs that you could say deserve that second contract and deserve a fat one, and it's Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. I think Saquon deserves it, but the fact that Saquon's not going to get it is fucking crazy.
I disagree with that. I think a lot of.
I
running
think a
backs
lot,
deserve
yeah.
second
Alvin
contract.
Kamara deserved
Zeke
it,
deserved it.
Dalvin
For
No,
sure.
I'm saying
deserved it.
I'm saying deserve it in the fact of like GMs and front offices still will be like they deserve that contract. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a shit. Anyone that's a productive running back
The Giants
deserves
kind of
that.
fucked
We had when we
themselves.
had
Yeah, but you
Brad.
can't-
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say you can't say that because at the time that Zeke got his contract, he deserved his contract.
But I'm-
Now, in hindsight, 4 years later, like the wheels fell off.
Well,
And
that goes
what's
back to-
what's gonna say that Saquon's wheels won't fall off?
Absolutely.
So
And
you
that
can't
goes
make
back
that
to, I think,
comparison.
Brad's point and a lot of people's points that, like, we need to shorten at least the rookie contracts for
Yeah.
running backs to allow them to be paid in their prime years, because once you get that second deal, in that second year of the second deal, you're likely is you're what, 26, 27, and that's where the analytics come into play, which says that these running backs begin to fall off because they're taking over 300 carries a fucking season.
Right.
And just
You
like
know?
the
So
toll on
wheels
their
fall off.
body is just worse.
So
and
I want to
worse.
bring it back to the point is, which is like, I agree. These guys should get paid. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But the problem is until you top paid running backs can go and win a Super Bowl for your team, until a Saquon, right, who's accounting for 40% of your offense, can go at least maybe even lose in the NFC Championship and prove that, like, we need to pay these running backs because look at them as a difference maker, they're just not going to get paid.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate part about it.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to what you said earlier because you said the media has devalued running backs. No, running backs have devalued running. Like, go win it. Like, the media is just analyzing what's going on the field.
The media
they just
actually,
bring up the statistics.
I would say the media also, like, we're showing all these crazy running back highlights. These guys trucking dudes, like, stiff arms, juke, all this shit.
We're
Like, it's
fans.
not-
No, but at the end,
I love it.
Yeah.
And it also, like...
Yo, I gotta pick up this call. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Okay, you're good.
We're carrying.
So,
we're carrying.
to Matan's point, though, about, like,
Let's go
these
get off
guys...
the rails with Uganda.
These guys are taking punishment, so they deserve to get paid for it and get valued for it. Like, I completely disagree because at the end of the day, you could say that, sure, but who gets paid more, a construction worker or a CEO? Who's putting in more? Who's putting?
Are you head of a construction company?
Yeah, but he said the worker, not the,
worker.
CEO of
Ah,
the
okay,
construction
okay.
company.
You're like on the ladder, like doing shit, right? You're not getting, but that's so physically demanding, bro. The value of what you get paid is the
good
value
analogy.
that the market demands, bro. Like, so if you're a running back and just the market is what it is right now,
I'm gonna be honest though, I feel like it's one of those things, like, it just kind of, like, this might just be blunt, like, it sucks to suck. You got born at the wrong fucking time and you played the wrong position at this point.
well, yeah, bro. Like,
no.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean? Though?
I
It's
get
like,
that stance
like,
on it, but
as
like,
a running back, you can. Which it sucks now that if you are a superstar running back, you're probably not going to get paid regardless. But if you're a superstar wide receiver like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase is about to get.
it's
some
weird though.
crazy
It's weird though
fucking
because
deals.
like we're bringing up like it sucks to suck, but like Derrick Henry, who deserved it, like that Titans team was the number one seed in the AFC. If
Only
they don't
because of
have
him.
Ryan Tannehill, my guess is they beat that Bengals team. Because Joe Burrow didn't throw a single touchdown in that game. So if you have a better quarterback, you likely make it further, and because they had a bye.
Yes.
So like that could have been the outlier
But
in
the
that
only
season.
reason they were in that position too, though, was because of Derrick Henry.
I
And I
agree.
think Derrick Henry's the one running back we've seen lately that's been able to take over games and actually, like, you can tell, you watch that guy play, you're like, that guy's the reason that his team is winning.
I agree. I
Like-
agree. And but that's more philosophical. I think that's a Mike Vrabel style offense where we're pounding
be,
the rock
yeah.
and they've invested in the offensive line. But again, it catches back up to you. Look at what Brad was saying. And I thought this was the best analogy to refer to the cap is it's a credit card. Interest rates begin to catch up with you if you don't pay off the full amount. So if you're going to pay for these guys, go for it. But it might catch up with the 49ers for paying CMC. If they don't get to the Super Bowl this year, you're going to look back on it and be like, was that a waste of money to pay CMC, even though he might be a difference
the Niners
maker?
have been in win now mode for the last like 3 or 4 years. Like,
Sure, but I don't know. When I look at paying a running back, there's a part of me that feels for them because like I get it, but at the same time, it's until you're a difference maker,
look,
you're not
like
going to get
they
it.
play their position. That's important, but clearly, like if they're, what do you when you play? You play to win the Super Bowl, right? That's why you play the game. And if clearly you're not showing value, like you said, the last 10 teams that have won a Super Bowl hasn't had a top running back getting paid top money, then that's the value. It doesn't matter how much punishment you take. That doesn't matter at all. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Kickers take no punishment, and their value has nothing to do with that.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to tell this stat. But this is sorry. I just got one stat. If there's any stat that proves how devalued the running back position has gone, it's this. The average salary for an NFL running back is $1.81 million. The average salary for an NFL kicker, $2.26 million.
Let's put context in that, though. There's a lot more running backs. There's usually teams only have one kicker, maybe two.
No, but that's still fucking
But that's still crazy.
No, it's not, because there's a fourth string running back that's getting paid like $700,000.
The second through
And the
four
third
guys.
is going to get paid $900,000.
Only your starters are getting paid the $10 million.
I know what you're talking about. I saw that tweet
I'm with
too.
you.
It
That's
got-
interesting.
no, it's interesting, but it's completely misconstrued.
No. It is misconstrued, and you just proved the point. So thank you. But that was a cool stat. Yeah.
But the kickers
Kickers,
physically
long
actually.
snappers.
Also, here's the
really
thing,
good.
right? Let's look at it
Long
this way
snappers,
too.
What do they make?
Like some accountants,
enough.
now, like, or look at any profession that does numbers, fucking super valuable to society, right? Eventually, AI is gonna take that shit. We're not gonna be crying about that.
Right.
It's just taking away, like, you just lost value, and it's like, oh, but they went through school and they did all this. It's just the market, bro. Like, the market devalues something. That just is what it is. So whether somebody deserves it or not, and
neither
whether
here nor there.
it's the value that they should have, it's
I get
two
that.
different things.
I'm curious. Do you think we get to a certain point where there's like a running back strike? Like they're just like, I'm not gonna fucking.
I mean,
play.
it kind of
They have no leverage, so-
Yeah,
They
have no
they
leverage.
don't, but like I
We
don't know.
forget. Can I just throw one thing out? Like, if they can complain, and I feel like we're going anti-running back, but you can complain all you want, but if there's anyone to point the finger at, it's the NFLPA. It's the people representing you because you have your collective bargaining agreement that doesn't get renegotiated until 2032 is the thing that's devaluing you. Not your, like, sure, your success and you having an effect on a team, but, like, what's devaluing you is the way your contracts were set up. And you should look at the NFLPA and not point to the media or anything else.
But this has also been enlightened, I think, within the past few years.
Yeah.
After the most recent CBA. So I guarantee you 2032 there's going to be some changes.
Oh,
because now that everybody's aware, and it sucks that there's, what do we now? So like
9
6,
more
7,
years.
8 more years? Yeah, cool. Good math.
To be honest, we might not even get to 2032.
They should do it.
They just might shut the league down.
Oh yeah, the
You
whole
know?
league just won't.
Yeah,
won't
just they just
happen.
stop.
I mean, look.
So maybe not just running backs go on strike. The whole NFL goes on strike.
Well, I was
Long
about to
snappers won't, though.
ask
Those
just
guys are-
about strike. Like obviously everyone's saying that like Saquon won't show up for week 1 or for camp. Right?
Stupid.
I don't understand how you
will.
can do that. Like
He's not on the
Well,
contract.
he's just not going
He's
to get
not on the
paid,
team.
Bro,
Every game that he misses,
Yeah.
he will miss. He will lose out on $500,000.
yeah, it's just don't show up to work.
Don't
Simple
show
as
up to
that.
work.
You just
but
don't
you're
go.
gonna get
then
fined.
So then he is.
No. He will not get fined. He doesn't have to sign the franchise tag.
He is there is legalities there that technically he has to sign it.
I'll say, isn't it just like you don't show up to work? Basically, that's
He
what
just
it is?
doesn't. He's technically a franchise tag player, and he has to show up to work. He has no leverage.
That's what I'm saying.
He had to sign the franchise
He
tag.
didn't have to
You're saying
sign it
how
by,
can
I
they
think,
do that and
yesterday's
get away with
deadline.
it?
Yeah, like I'm just
Because
saying.
they're
Like,
fucking really
He is
talented.
still an employee. If he does not show up,
Okay.
he will miss out on $500,000
I didn't see
per
that.
game. But that's the point of the franchise tag, right? Is it's like, I don't care. I'm slapping a tag on you, and you got to show
Like,
up to
isn't
work.
that
Which said Le'Veon
essentially-
Bell missed out on all that money because
Essentially,
he
the
was tagged.
comparison is if you, for a regular job, let's say you have 10 days of PTO for your year, you use all those up, right?
Yeah.
Then you just don't want to show up. You want to take some time off. Well, you're not going to get paid for that.
Correct.
That's essentially what it is for, cap for dummies.
Yes. But also, even if Saquon didn't
like
show
it. I
up,
like the
he's
dummies.
not creating any leverage. Even if the Giants in some fucking world went 0-6 to start the season, the Giants aren't going to flip the script and say, "Oh fuck, we got to go give Saquon the contract." Why? Because what did it do for Le'Veon Bell after sitting out 2 years? He got the exact same amount of money as the franchise tag when the Jets signed him.
Yeah.
Like the Jets were bidding against themselves. So it's not like he's, by sitting out 2 years, created all this leverage and people are like, oh my God, Le'Veon Bell. If anything, it hurt his value. So what you have to do if you're Saquon Barkley is literally go out and play on the tag, prove your value, prove your worth, and then hopefully you get the bag. But like,
Yes, but you want years too. That's also something
you want
to be
safety.
considered.
You want safety.
Yeah, you want safety, which is like a longer term
But the
deal. So
unfortunate
even if you
part
get the
is you
same
don't have
amount per
leverage
year,
in creating safety. Like you don't have. It's not like you can be like, I want to sit out and give me.
I
2
agree, but I'm
years.
saying like you didn't consider with Le'Veon, he did get a longer contract with the Jets. With the Jets,
You got a 2-year deal.
It's better than one of you do.
I agree, but the only point I'm trying to make is that like with Saquon, the longer he sits out, the more it hurts the running back position.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
All right, it's stupid.
He's gotta- they just gotta- it's unfortunate, but
if he doesn't show up week 1,
I think he will.
And something that should be considered too is that I saw somebody tweet and it was like it was kind of popular. I guess it was getting around. Somebody said, "Why would you draft second overall, a running back second overall,
not
and then
gonna
not
pay him?
It makes perfect sense.
That makes total
Because
sense.
the longevity of a running back is going to be 4 or 5 years. That's why you draft him.
Yeah.
You sign him that. If you draft him in the first round, he's got 5 years on his contract. So you use those 5 years and you let him go. It makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
I think there's
Just
some
because you draft
analytics.
someone super early doesn't mean you have to sign him on the next contract.
But in fairness, what we've seen is you don't need to draft that guy that high. You could
Right.
kind of draft that left tackle super high, invest in the offensive line, draft one in the 5th or 6th round, and pretty much get somewhat
I was
comparable
going to say,
values.
if you just invest in your offensive line and make sure that's fortified for years, you can just pick that. I can't.
You got
talk.
this. You got this.
Pick and plug running backs like all the time.
You can
just
say
do
that
it
as
all
a
day.
Niners fan. You've seen that a
Easily.
lot.
I've seen that. If you have the right scheme and a good
Yeah.
offensive line, it doesn't matter who the hell's the running back. It can be Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Christian McCaffrey. I don't give a fuck.
Meanwhile, the
If they're
Cowboys
gonna do
always
well.
invest in a running back, and we fucking suck. So
Meanwhile,
there you go.
also, I don't believe the Niners needed CMC, but
No, I that's a whole different
it's just
conversation.
added bonus that you get like the best player in football.
It's nice to have. Well, the one reason why I understand the Niners trading for him is because he can do so many different things.
Yeah.
He can come out of the
That
backfield
helps
and
a
come out
lot.
of the slot, and with what the Niners like to do, that works. But like they didn't need him. It's just a nice shiny little toy.
All right. Well,
Anyway, that's a whole
right.
different
Poor running
combo,
backs.
though.
yeah, running backs.
Four
That's a
running
fun
backs.
conversation. You know what else
Sending you
happened
love.
over this weekend and today? More are coming out. Is the Madden ratings? Have been
yeah,
coming
Aaron
out.
Donald is another 99, just broke Peyton Manning's record.
Is that true?
They give him 99 again.
They give him 99 again.
No, I
99
don't know
for
if he
him.
should be 99 still.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know if Aaron Donald should be 99.
But basically,
just the
we're gonna
NFC
do it.
West
We're gonna do
leader.
a couple of like quick games,
did you
all
do
right?
anything last year?
We're gonna start
Just
with
pay
we're gonna
attention
start
to
with quarterbacks. The quarterback ratings for Madden have not yet been released,
Mm-hmm.
but we're basically gonna say like, what do you think each quarterback's Madden rating should be?
Rapid fire.
In the top 10 or all the quarterbacks?
Do them all.
Because Tua should be a
Rapid
98,
fire.
but I don't know if he will be.
Should I pull up every
Get the
quarterback
full
and we'll
on,
just
though.
rattle it off?
That's from
Yeah.
last year.
Every
Hey,
NFL
he
starting
goes on
quarterback.
Tua sleeve Twitter now.
Tua sleeve Twitter?
Yeah, he's on Tua
Bro,
sleeve Twitter.
welcome. Wearing the
He's-
orange, I'm
he's
so
show-
happy.
He's
for
showing.
you.
He's like, look, it's not the full sleeve. I'm like, that's from last year.
This from last year? This isn't now?
No, that's OTAs.
Oh, that's OTA. Bro,
Oh.
he didn't get the full sleeve.
No. He got that, and then the video that just came out that
Yeah,
you saw,
I know,
he
it
got
has the
another
tease,
one.
the
He got another
tease.
one. So we don't know what's in this
Why
part
does no one know?
because
what Tua
he
has?
just doesn't go on social media. He doesn't wear shirtless things. I don't know.
He should be shirtless. That man is.
My
chiseled
honest guess
God.
is he doesn't have a full sleeve, but I'm
I
gonna
don't
rock
think he
with him
does.
having a full
I
sleeve.
think
All
he's
right.
got that, and then just a little form.
I found a list of NFL ranking someone who is this Mark Sessler ranked all the quarterbacks. Whatever, it's just a list of every quarterback in
All right.
order of how good they are.
Hey, also receiver rankings just dropped from
We're gonna do
the
something.
NFL.
We'll do that.
Oh yeah, so
All right,
From
so
NFL
we're
personnel,
gonna
I'm
go
saying.
real quick. All right, we're gonna rattle through every
Rashawn Jennings.
every quarterback, every starting quarterback in the NFL, and you're gonna tell me what you think their Madden rating
super
should
quick.
be.
Super quick.
Okay,
Okay.
Just
Patrick
like
Mahomes,
99,
99.
Jalen Hurts
95.
Wait, is
93.
it what we think it is or what should
should be. What do you think it should be?
Jalen Hurts?
94, 95.
92.
87. Are you serious?
Yeah, fair.
87?
I said
No, he's
94.
a good year.
91.
Well, but what Madden, if I had to assume what Madden would give him, probably like a 91 is
Yeah.
close.
91.
Joe Burrow
94.
90.
92. Yeah. Josh Allen
95.
95.
no 97. They're gonna give him something.
They're going to give him something high.
I think they're
well,
gonna
this
give
is
him
He's the
now, yeah.
cover.
we're-
He's
yeah.
the cover. So
He is the cover.
Also, you have to think about like Madden will like a player will have higher rating if they have super good in like some attribute. So like Tyreek Hill is higher than Devontae Adams
Yes.
because his speed and
'Cause
acceleration on
speed's great.
99.
Yeah,
We were just talking about this
I was gonna
yesterday.
say,
The Madden
I think
score.
Joe Burrow's a better quarterback, and I have Josh Allen being a higher rated quarterback
Yes.
because he's a better
Yeah.
runner.
Because
Yeah.
the thing about Madden score is it's so much more about your ability than it is how
Yes.
you perform.
Correct.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
It's like
Correct.
it's like how you can be used
Raw
in a video game.
tools.
Literally.
Correct.
Right?
It's literally video
Although
games,
Brady
yeah.
was like a 99.
All right,
All
so
right, let's keep
I
talking.
let me.
It's a
I changed
video
it.
game, yeah.
Josh Allen's gonna be like a 96.
Okay. Justin Herbert
94.
94 also. Yeah. What do you think?
90. Well, you're saying it, right? You just 94.
No, it's not out yet.
They're not
bro.
out yet. We're
predicting
guessing.
it.
Guessing. What are you?
I'm off. My bad.
I'm just saying who I think.
Herbert, I think probably a 91.
Trevor Lawrence
89. 90.
Lawrence
89.
88.
89.
87. 87.
89.
Tua 88.
83.
88. 87.
I think 88's high even.
80, 80,
Oh, I'll go
87.
85.
I'll give him 85.
I gave 87.
Jared Goff. By the way, this is ESPN. This is
Jared Goff,
NFL
I'll give him
88 rankings.
78.
Did you see this by the way?
88.
They have it 7.
Yeah,
That's- he
because
got a
2 is
big arm.
elite.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff's going to be an 81.
I'll
He's
give-
got
I'll-
he's got a
yeah, he's
cannon.
around-
What are
he's
you
around-
talking
he's
about?
around that.
I'm gonna say 86.
Bro,
Bro, 88.
we just talked about abilities.
Yeah, you're-
What is Jared Goff going to bring
He has
in
a
Madden?
huge fucking
Hold on,
arm.
hold on.
Okay, you could have 99 arm. It doesn't
He's
make
also
you and
sneaky
everything
quick.
else be a 90, bro.
Guys, give Tom Brady was a 99 with no ability. Like, relax.
Yeah.
It's not. You have to perform as well. Jared Goff, I'll give him a 78.
Geno Smith 2.
80.
3.
78.
I'll give him an
83.
83.
83
Yeah, I
or
was gonna say
84.
like 81.
Yeah, he's
Why do I
not
feel
gonna
like
be
we're
80.
missing
Dak
so many?
Prescott 90.
89.
Yeah, like
89
90.
or 89. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, this is an old list, so Tom Brady's on this list, so I'm gonna take
Lamar
it off.
Jackson.
Lamar
92.
Jackson
93.
yeah,
93.
I'm gonna say 94.
93.
He's
91.
fucking yucky,
93 or
bud. He's
94.
absolute filth.
Justin
he's-
Fields,
84.
86.
84.
86.
Aaron Rodgers
92.
94.
91.
92.
94.
I have no idea even what we've done for any of these guys yet.
Brock Purdy
70.
99?
74.
69.
74.
No, realistically, Brock Purdy will be
I'm
like
gonna say
74.
like 77.
Yeah, I think 70s in the 70s.
But he should be 99.
Tyler.
You got to give it a number.
72.
Kyler?
Kyler Murray.
Brock,
Kyler Murray.
Brock.
72.
Kyler?
My fucking ass, 72.
73.
74, bro.
Give me at least 75.
75.
It's a C.
Kyler,
Kyler
80,
Murray.
87.
Who?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler
I'm
Murray.
gonna say 85.
I say 85 or 86 for sure.
87.
Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna say 89.
90.
89.
87.
88.
87.
I feel like Madden likes Kirk. I'll give him a
87.
90.
87.
87.
Daniel Jones.
99.
99.
Yeah. 83.
Yeah,
I'm not
I was
sure.
gonna say 82.
82.
82.
I'm not changing my ranking.
Ryan Tannehill.
79.
Yeah, 78. I was about to say 78.
We're all like
Yeah,
kind
I
of
got
around the same
78.
zone. This
79,
is weird.
78. Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett.
99.
82.
Hair.
Pickett, I'll give him a 74.
Yeah,
Whoa,
that's
75.
accurate. I think 74, 75.
I think he should be
is
Derek Carr.
82.
84.
80.
Yeah, 80.
80 might be low.
It's so funny because the grading scale is like,
I'll
all
give
right,
him 82.
the A's are in the 90s,
83,
right?
I'll
So
give him
who is the
83.
better? Then you go average, and like C's get degrees, bro.
I'll say,
But
if
like
you're go- if
so
you're
does a
going-
B minus.
If we're going around with my GPA in high school, we're around that part right here.
Yeah.
Like when you
Does
said
Dalton
Kenny
still
Pickett.
start now?
Andy Dalton, he's going to start for the Panthers. He's going to start for the Panthers.
No. He's not on the.
Yes, he will.
Oh, because he's a Hall of
Panthers.
Famer, like
yeah,
Miles Sanders
according
said.
to Miles Sanders.
All right,
correct.
Andy
In the
Dalton,
70s. All right, but then what's Bryce Young? 78, 81.
Yeah.
No,
Bryce
hell
Young?
no, bro. I was thinking like a
75.
Bryce
72.
Young would be like a 70.
Yeah. 74. Yeah.
Yeah, but I could see them fucking inflating.
Bryce
They
Young.
don't do that.
Sam
They-
Darnold.
They never
Yeah,
do
it's
rookies like
Sam
that.
Darnold,
71.
69.
Yes.
Nah, I'll give him a 70. A 70.
70.
Straight up 70.
Matt Stafford.
You're like, oh,
85.
no, 69,
86.
70.
Matt Stafford, 86.
Yeah, I'll go 87. for
Matt
Stafford.
Stafford, 87 is
yeah,
great.
88.
88 actually.
Mac
sounds right.
Jones.
82.
80.
Yeah, 80.
81.
I'll go
even.
78.
82.
Russell Wilson,
Russell
I think actually is
Wilson.
going to be, I think like 84.
85, yeah.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
80,
85.
He's going to be quick. That's going to jump up.
Deshaun Watson.
99 on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Deshaun?
not
I'll
changing.
give him
22.
I'm going to say 88.
I think they're going to give him like an
Anyone get
87.
that?
I'm not changing my ranking.
No, I think Deshaun will be like an 88, 89.
Yeah.
Not a 22.
Is he still play?
Matt
I
Ryan,
think
he's
it's
retired. No,
26.
Davis Mills retired.
Anthony Richardson.
They'll give
80.
him. They'll give him like a 72.
Yeah. All right.
73.
CJ Stroud.
Stroud,
60.
they'll give him a 72, 70. They give every rookie the same ranking, bro.
Who did we
Yeah,
miss? I feel like we missed
Or
some
rating,
guys.
I mean.
Did we miss some guys? Will Levis.
Oh, Jordan Love.
Jordan
Oh, that's a
Love.
good one.
I think it's going
actually.
to be sneakily high, like
I'll give him-
82.
I'll give him like a 76.
Yeah, I think it's like 78.
75.
I just have a weird feeling it's going to be sneaky high.
Nah.
Who's the commander starter?
Sam Howell.
Oh, he's
Sam
going to be like
Howell.
a 71.
71, 72.
Yeah,
72.
71, probably something
But hey,
around there.
after this year,
Desmond
you don't jump
Ridder.
to the 80s.
Desmond Ritter, 67.
Yeah, 70.
70.
He might be low 70s.
Could be. That'd be good for him.
He's not good.
Who we miss? Who we miss? Who we miss?
I think that's it.
All right, hold up.
Oh, I mean Jimmy Garoppolo.
Hey,
99 and low.
69.
So Jimmy G, it'll be like 78,
Realistically,
77,
he should be
78.
like
Yeah, I
80,
agree.
like on the
No, he
dot.
should not be.
Nah, he's at high 70s.
Y'all don't know Jimmy G like that.
Oh,
All right,
my bad. I
I'm
don't
curious
know
to
who he
see
is.
how well we do when those rankings, when those ratings actually come out.
Oh,
If
probably
we're-
I'm curious to know
Y'all-
what people think. I'm curious to know how
Y'all
others
think Josh
rank.
Allen 97?
What do you
though? That's
folks
way
think?
too high.
Jack really dives into that voice.
Hey,
whenever-
fellas, it's a new era. It's a new day.
Kept lady.
It's
got
a
it.
new dawn.
We got a new game.
Oh, great
It's
song.
a new day. It's a new life.
New Era was kind enough to send us
And
this
I'm
Dolphins hat.
feeling-
If you could see the Dolphins hat.
Shout out Dolphins.
Shout out Dolphins.
Throwback uniform.
No, and a whole bunch of other fire hats.
Yeah, I
Shout
got
out
mine.
to
I got
New
my
Era.
Marlins.
They didn't send me this, but I got so much new era already. This is the White Sox 2005 World
Oh, that's
Series.
nice.
That's good.
It's actually one of my favorite hats. I go.
Shout out New Era.
Look
But
how well this goes with the fit of the white
basically,
and black.
the NFL Madden wide receiver ratings did come out.
They came out yesterday, yeah?
They came out
Or
this
Monday.
week.
Yep.
The NFL wide receiver ratings are out. So I have a bunch of names, not all the names, but I have a bunch of names, and we're going to pick out of this New Era hat and decide if their rating is
games
too high or too low.
Hey, I like this game. It's a
Jack?
new era of
You want
gaming.
to pick?
You want to pick a name out of the hat without looking?
Is it too early or too late to say Madden is the worst sports video game?
All right. So what do I do?
Too high or too low,
lit.
and you're going to tell
That
us their
stinks.
rating, and we're going to decide if
Jeez.
this
All right.
wide receiver is their rating is too high or too low.
Too high or too low of a Madden rating? AJ Brown 91.
Oh,
Too high, too
Too
low? Just right.
I was going to say just, oh, we can't pick
we
just
can't
right.
pick
We
a
can't
fucking
pick just
side.
right. Remember what we did? I was going to say just right as well.
That's perfect.
It is perfect, but I would say potentially
I'm gonna say too low.
Slightly too low.
I would
Okay.
say
I would
so.
go 92.
I
I'll go
would say
too.
too low. I think he's 92
I'll go too high, 90.
why?
because he's on the Eagles.
Well, I've seen the other. I love AJ Brown. I've said he's a top 5 receiver before, but I think that like I've just seen the list before, and there's guys that are under him that I think are better. So if he's a 91, then I think
Lipe's
he should
such a
be 90.
hater, bro. Anyway,
That's fair.
You know,
No,
just
that's fair. That's
King
fair.
hater.
Hey, Lipe, why don't you
Lipe, pick out of the most
the
beautiful
New Era
hat, the most beautiful new era hat.
It is a good logo.
New Era
It's a
too
great
high,
logo.
too low.
I wish the
wide
Dolphins
receiver
switched their
ratings.
logo.
Tyreek Hill, 98.
Too high.
Too high. I
It's
agree.
too high. He should be like a 95.
98's crazy,
I
bro.
agree.
Too low.
Tua low.
It's because
That's a bad joke.
Too low.
it's because of the speed and acceleration.
I mean,
like
I
you
thought
said.
when
Speed's a 99.
when they
right?
dropped Justin Jefferson's 99, I thought Tyreek was really about to be the first person to have a 100 rating.
No, you did not, bro.
Yep, I did.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes
What?
doesn't
Are you
even have
okay?
100 rating.
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for
sick?
asking.
Have you
No,
been getting your sleep lately?
actually no. Do I feel like I look tired. I feel
No, you
tired.
look great.
Do.
You look pretty still.
Big
don't
weekend
worry.
moving.
Tyreek's 100.
All right, bro.
New era pick.
Blanks.
Nice.
Hi.
Too high or too low? Amon-Ra St. Brown 87. Too low.
Too low.
Too low.
Actually, I might
Are
say
y'all
too
trying to
high.
give everybody 90s, bro?
Yeah, because we're
That
trying
don't
to be
work like
super
that.
nice. Super
No,
nice.
you guys know. I love
Honestly,
me some
it's
Amon-Ra.
perfectly. Honestly, it's perfectly right. But again, I'll go too high.
I think it should
Give
be
him
like
86.
89.
I was gonna say if anything a little too high.
Like 86. Give him an
Yeah,
86.
he got pepper with targets. I don't know. He
I'm
might
gonna
be
say too
slightly
low
high.
just because fantasy.
Have you
He's
seen his route
super
running?
fucking
No, he's
valuable.
unbelievable. But
He's explosive. He makes good catches.
hey, Matan,
He makes Jared Goff look good.
Yeah,
pick a Madden
exactly.
rating out of the new era.
JSN's supposed to be an upgraded Amon-Ra, so.
But he hasn't
Jason,
played.
he's gross.
Jalen
Especially
Waddle 88. Too,
too
high
low.
or too low?
Too low. Way too low.
Too high.
I think too low.
I think
Too
way
high.
too low.
Waddle,
Too high.
too high. I think he's 87.
Too high.
I think he's too low.
Too
I'm
high.
with you, Adam. Too low.
Also, like if we're gonna
Also not pressed about it. I think it's a good
if
rating.
we're gonna and if Tyreek's a 98 because he has a 99 speed, and then Jalen Waddle has the second
That
most
means-
speed,
Yeah, but I
he's
also
a
said high-
98.
That means they think Jalen
But we
Waddle's
agree that
trash and
Tyreek was too
everything
high,
else.
though. So
Yeah, facts.
Nope, I got both
Facts.
too low.
All right,
if
Jack,
anything,
But if that's the case, that would mean that Jalen Waddle's fucking horrific at
if
everything
anything, Waddle
Pick out
was
of
a
the new era.
97 at least. At least.
else.
I'm just saying.
I'll already say it too
Is
high.
he unbiased, bro?
Okay, fine.
you got?
94.
Too high or too low? Devontae Adams 97.
Yeah, too high.
Slightly.
I'll go too low. I think he'd be a 98.
Really?
Yeah, he's still arguably the best receiver in the game. You got Jefferson at a 99. I
Well,
still
no,
think
but,
he's better.
actually,
but I
on
don't
that-
think Justin Jefferson should be a 99 either.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So on that bait, but on
How-
Lipe's argument, I agree
Yo,
because he's
if
probably
you,
too low.
if you
He's too
compare
low.
it to Justin Jefferson, it's like sure.
Yeah, too low.
You
But
said
I don't
97?
think anyone should be a 99 to be perfectly fair.
He's a
besides Patrick
97?
Mahomes. Yeah, 97.
No, I think he's a 98. He's literally unguardable. There's few players who are literally unguardable. Devontae Adams, you've never seen him be guarded
I
by
crazy
anybody.
to say that
Jalen Ramsey can't stop
When
him.
did Madden become a place that like always had to have a 99 for one position? Like why do we
It's
have to
always
have
been that. Brady
Yo,
was that for a
FIFA.
long ass
FIFA
time.
never has ever
but
had a
Brady was
99.
the GOAT. Like Brady was the best
he
at his
wasn't.
position.
Not because like him and
Peyton
was better than him all those years.
Brady.
Skill
Brady
but
wise,
Peyton was
skill
also a
wise,
99.
skill
but
wise.
I'm saying we're talking 5 years ago. Brady arguably.
I'm talking about, like, Madden 07, 08,
Yeah,
09,
I'm saying
like,
right
those
now.
were the
Madden 07 with
Right
Sean
now, there's
Alexander.
one player in the NFL where you're like that dude is by far light years the best player, and that's Patrick Mahomes. After that, like, why does everyone need to be a
Yeah.
99? Like, why does the
I think
best player?
Mahomes-
That's what I'm saying. Why does
Patrick
a Justin
Mahomes-
Jefferson have to be a 99? No wide receiver should be a
Patrick
99.
Mahomes and Aaron Donald are the only two players that should be 99s. Maybe Justin Tucker. Like if we're talking just like
Yeah.
positional-wise. Like,
Honestly, yeah.
yeah,
That'd be
like
crazy.
actually, like
kick a field goal from like
I
82
I
yards.
agree with you. Ray
That's
Lewis
all I'm
was also
saying,
99 at that time.
Like
Yeah.
they're handing out 99s like it's a fucking
yeah,
charity.
99 club. and they
Terry
give those
McLaurin,
gold
92.
award. Too high.
too high.
Too high, I agree.
Yeah, I'll say too high.
I
but
feel like he's underrated, and I like that they gave him a
think he's
92.
underrated.
But like, I still feel like he's.
I
like
think
a
Terry's
91,
disgusting.
90.
But if you're gonna give Amon-Ra an 87 and then Terry McLaurin in 92, like Terry McLaurin might be a slight upgrade, but they feel somewhat
I think they're
similar.
like potato,
Terry's
tomato, you
bigger,
know?
better deep threat, but Amon-Ra, I don't know.
What you got, Adam?
Jamar Chase 94.
not too low. Well, we gotta go too low.
I was
too high.
about to
I'll go
say
too
too
low.
Like, do
low.
you compare it to everyone else?
I was
Then
a-
it's too low.
Too low, 95.
Yeah.
I think too low as well.
I was about to say too low, but I
I
don't
feel like
know.
it's money. Like
Especially
right
if
on
Reek
the-
is a
just-
98. If Reek
just-
is a 98.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
when I
Yeah,
think
if
when I
Reek
think
is
of
a
Jamar,
98.
when I think of Jamar Chase versus Terry McLaurin, like granted, this is obviously not how you look
Jamar's
at
much
rankings,
better.
but if you're telling me he's 2 points higher, I think that's too low.
Yeah, too low.
Too low.
Too low. Yeah.
Too low.
Yeah.
In the Dolphins hat. New era. Shout out New era.
Cooper Cup 96.
Perfect.
It's too high.
Too high.
gotta
think
go
he's
too
a
low.
95.
Too low?
Too high.
I'll go too low.
Too low. He's the season moving like
He's
the
one of
best
the-
receiver season we've seen.
He's
in a
one of the
long
greatest
time.
route runners we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, good route runner.
Very
I'm
smart.
gonna say too
high
high.
IQ.
First,
He actually does have a high
Madden-
IQ. He's a
Madden
high
had
IQ
a-
All right, last
player.
round.
Matt
Go
had a
through.
new rating. It says if you're the first guy in or the last guy out, and Cooper Cup has 99 in both of those.
He's a 99 workhorse.
Jim Rat.
Oh, all right. Too high or too low? This is
Spicy.
Odell Beckham, 85.
Too high.
Too high. Way too high.
Too high.
Too high.
Point.
Ability, absolutely through the roof, but coming off two ACLs.
Agreed. Can't be giving him that much
Too
credit.
high. Way
was
too
good
much
harmony.
credit.
It's 85.
85.
I think he'd be at 84, so I'll go too high as well.
Yeah.
I think he should be like an 81.
I think 80.
I think
yeah.
84.
Yeah.
He's still mid 80s. Like, let's not downgrade.
Yo,
him too
by the
much.
way, this looks
Bro, with two
super
ACLs is
cute.
crazy.
Hey, this looks super cute when you got the teal and the orange, man. You're
Dude,
a Dolphins
that
fan.
shirt is orange as shit.
It's very orange.
If you stare at it for 10 seconds real quick.
That's like
You-
a.
you-
It'll hurt your
That's like
eyes.
a.
It could blind
It'll
you.
hurt
It
your
could
eyes.
blind you.
That's like a sunset.
No,
orange.
actually, my eyes like don't feel.
All right, what you got, Lipe?
Tyler Lockett, 89. I think that's fucking
Too high.
perfect.
Too high.
I think it's perfect. I don't even
I
want to
think
go
Tyler
too high or
Lockett's
too low.
so fucking underappreciated.
He's
but
so
like,
He is
good.
I thought you were about to say
high.
overrated.
no, he's so good.
Yeah,
Put it like this.
He's
He's
definitely
been cooking
under,
us for years.
He's definitely
I-
underappreciated, and I agree, Lipe. Like, it is perfect. But
Super underappreciated.
If I could
I'll
say
go
one,
88. Too
Super
high.
underrated, but if you're putting T. Higgins and Jalen Waddle and Amon-Ra lower than
We
him,
haven't even
I
talked about
think.
T. Higgins yet.
But
What's
we
T.
know his rankings.
What's T. Higgins?
I think he's like an 86.
Yeah, something
87.
like that.
Lockett's better than
I didn't put
Higgins.
everyone in this
No, I
bucket.
don't-
I don't think he's better right now.
I don't think Tyler Lockett's better.
I think
than
he's
T.
Lockett's a
super.
90, underrated.
He's underrated, but a 90s.
Amari Cooper 91, too low. Should be a 99.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper.
Too low, 92.
I think he's a 92.
Who did we?
McLaurin's a 92. Come on, Amari. better than
Yes,
McLaurin.
yes, thank you. If Terry McLaurin's a 92, then Amari.
Amari's
Cooper's a
one of the most
92.
underrated receivers
Facts.
we've ever seen. Like
Facts.
since we've been watching
I
football.
can't wait for someone to be like, he's a Cowboys fan.
But is he a
completely
91?
Like, I don't think he's a
Amari
91.
I don't think he's a 91 either.
I
My
think
gut is
it's
telling me
too
too
high. I think
high.
he's a
Do you know what he
90,
did? He had like 1,200 yards last
No,
year.
he's fucking awesome.
With
But I think-
Jacoby Brissett.
I think all these guys, first of all, are probably too high.
Yeah.
Like in general.
Also,
Like,
let's be real, like-
the bar, the ceiling should be
Just gonna
lower.
read the last two names.
Yeah, read the last two. And
All right, we'll start with Garrett Wilson, 84.
too low.
Too low. What?
I mean,
Dude, Odell was an 85.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's better than
hell
Odell.
Also,
no.
Garrett Wilson put up like what
Wilson's-
1,200 yards with Zach
Garrett
Wilson,
Wilson's
Mike
at
White and
87.
shit.
And
Like that's
no,
crazy.
what? Mike's white. You school. Come on.
Garrett Wilson, 86, 87 is where he should
I
be.
agree. Way too
By the
low.
end of the season, he'll be in the 90s.
Facts.
Maybe 88, 89.
All right, last name, CeeDee Lamb, 90.
Too low.
Too low.
I got you, bro.
I think he's better than
Thanks.
Terry McLaurin.
I think it's perfect, but yeah. He's better than Terry
Yeah, I think
McLaurin.
it's pretty good.
For sure, I would take him over.
I would
he
also
should be
take him
100.
over.
Think
I'd
so.
probably,
91,
Maybe
92.
101.
I would also take him over Amari Cooper.
I
Yeah,
would
me
too.
too.
Yeah.
I think it's 91, 92.
All right, that was fun.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. Shout out New Era.
Shout out New Era.
Shout out.
God,
to,
man,
shout
Amari
out-
Cooper's so underrated, bro.
What's going on?
I'm trying to, I was
fucking
trying to see if I
legend.
could fit my. I don't
Amari
know.
Cooper is super
was a
underrated.
weird-
Shout
that
out
was a
New
weird
Era
moment.
though. That was fun.
Yo, shout out New Era, bro.
Yo, shout out.
Why do you wear it like that?
Dude, it looks good like that, man.
How
You
else
did that
am I
last
supposed-
week, too.
how
Have,
else am I
have
supposed
any
to wear
more
it?
Madden ratings come out during this pod?
Kicker,
No, but you know what came
punters.
out? Like I mentioned before, the
Yeah,
NFL
defensive
personnel
linemen.
ranked receivers. So this is a
All right,
legitimate list of receivers.
so let's compare it right now,
All right, let me
and then
pull
we'll
it up.
wrap. This will be our last thing. Hold on, let me pull up the Madden ratings. Madden wide receiver ratings, and then you want to pull up the
Yeah, I can pull it up. I was just reading it.
What's going on?
rankings.
Um,
We're gonna basically
The
we're gonna
NFL personnel
compare.
rankings.
We're gonna compare the
receivers.
NFL personnel wide receiver
by accident
rankings
typed-
to the
Oh, I like
Madden
this.
ratings.
I by accident typed wife receivers.
wife receivers.
Who posted this shit, bro? Probably like.
Ari,
It's-
I feel
no,
like
it's,
would.
it's
Yeah, you're right. Shout
You
out
got,
my
you got a little thing
Jeremy
on-
Fowler.
You got a little thingy on your head. Looks like gum.
no.
All right,
I got it.
those we got these personnel ratings.
Yep,
Okay,
I
actually,
got
you
it.
You have something on your head. Though.
Yeah, you actually do.
There you
And
go.
then
Thanks. Thanks, Jay.
we're gonna send it over to our.
I'm gonna wear.
We'll just go through this. We'll compare the lists,
I'm gonna wear my New Era.
and then we're gonna send it over to our interview with Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah, let's do
Very
it.
excited.
Okay, you want me to go first or what?
Go first.
Wait, fuck. I gotta log in. Please hold. I gotta log in.
Oh no, he's just chilling.
Oh god.
God damn it.
It's not on Twitter, bro.
It's
Dude, honestly, it's kind of hard
behind
to
a
find. can't lie.
paywall. It's behind a paywall.
It is behind a paywall, so you got to find it elsewhere.
Man, what the fuck you laughing at that back there, Chuckles?
I gotta open in a new link. This is bull. This is just.
You laugh.
This is-
Ben is laughing at Lena the plug.
Lena
That is what
the
he's
plug?
laughing at right now. Dude, what a you talk about a great weekend for her.
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit. Like actually the amount of money she probably made on OnlyFans off that video is crazy.
All right.
Did you see that one Twitch
get it?
streamer that like live
Log
streamed
in
like
here.
broke it down like it was a fucking basketball?
I
game?
didn't
Okay, I
see
got it. I got
It
it.
was crazy.
I got it, yo. I got it. I
All
got
right,
it.
Felipe.
All right. So you want me to just go in
I
order?
was trying to
Yeah.
pass time.
Number 1, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we comparing right now?
Okay, so this is the NFL personnel, players, coaches, executives, guys of that.
And we're gonna compare it with
Wide,
Madden.
wide
top
receiver.
No, this is their top 10 receiver ranking. So this is the most credible source we can get because it's from personnel.
We're
and
pretty
then
credible.
how is it not?
Well,
credible?
you guys are more credible for sure.
Well, I am because I am. You know,
I
Being
mean,
a GM, you a scout.
I'm just
Yeah.
looking at this top 10 in the on Madden, and it's not gonna compare. Like it's not gonna be.
you
the
don't
same.
know that.
All right. So number 1 is Justin Jefferson.
Confirmed.
Number 2, Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Number 3, Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Number 4, Tyreek Hill. Number 5, Cooper Kupp. So
Is
Kupp
this,
made the
is
5.
this the same?
Not
No,
at all.
Not
Oh, I thought you were about to like tell us what was different.
No. Oh, I'm going
We can
to.
do that afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
Because like Hill was second, I guess, on that.
Hill was second. Yeah, Chase was 6th. Like,
All right. Keep,
All right.
All right.
Jettas, Adams, Chase, Hill, Kupp. Top 5. Number 6, Stephon Diggs. Number 7, A.J. Brown. Number 8, DK Metcalf.
That's crazy.
He's a problem in a guard. I feel like I could see that.
I
Yeah,
can
but he's
see
probably
it
not
too.
the best
Yeah.
receiver on his team. But hey, maybe he is according to players. Well, I trust the leading scout here for
yeah.
more.
Have you seen his abs?
Number 9.
Talk about washboard.
Number 9, McLaurin. Terry.
Wow.
Scary Terry.
Over CD?
Over CD, and then 10 is CD. So CD didn't make top 10 Madden, but he's 10.
So how the
on this.
fuck do they do the Madden
And then
ratings?
honorable mentions are Debo,
on.
Mike
I'll take
Evans,
11.
T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith.
I'll be honest. The one that shocks me
Hey,
on
boys
that
are, our
is
boys are honorable.
I know Mike Evans has like been Mr. Consistent, but like the fact that I never thought players thought he was like that hard.
No, he-
By the way,
I gotta-
CD did make he's 10 on Madden also.
No, he's 11.
I'm looking here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 CD Lamb.
That's weird because he wasn't yesterday. But anyways.
They've already been moving.
If
up.
they've already
been
changed it.
updated.
That,
They
that,
might've-
that little last that was Lipe sounding
I'm
so
looking,
slighted.
I'm looking at the right thing, right?
No, I'm sure you. They must have.
Madden NFL 24 player ratings.
Who's the most
Wide
random
receiver.
player to get?
Because
a vote?
Cowboy fans were like up in hell yesterday with CD not being
It's,
top
you
10.
know what the
Mike
craziest
Evans
that I
is
saw?
also a 90.
You know what's
Like,
wild is
but
that I
I'm-
think that the community is not high on DeAndre Hopkins anymore. Because I saw him, he was on honorable mentions like
Is he
super
even?
far
Is
down.
he even? I don't even see him in this
So-
game.
Let me talk about non-honorable mentions, but also got mentions. Also,
Oh,
got
so
votes.
just
So
mentions.
mentions.
Yeah, just
tier
mentions.
3. Right.
Amon Ra, Chris Olave, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Talk about a player in Madden that needs their rating higher. It's Calvin Ridley. I don't care that he's missed a fucking year. That dude is still
By the way, the
absolutely
top
elite.
10 in Madden here are Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill 2, Devontae Adams 3, Cooper Kupp 4, Stephon Diggs 5, Jamar Chase 6, Terry McLaurin 7, A.J. Brown 8,
See-
Amari Cooper 9, and CeeDee Lamb.
That's why I think it's wild that you put Jamar Chase as a 94.
Okay, so the list is the same. No, the order's a little different. The list is the same with the
Yes.
exception of
Amari
Cooper.
Cooper.
Cooper's in this
DK's
one.
not in
Or
this.
in that one.
What out of
Okay.
out of both
DK.
lists, which one do you have the biggest issue with?
Oh,
Like which player, whether that's their rating or them being at a certain spot in the
Madden.
top 10?
I mean, Tyreek's not a 98.
yes,
Agreed.
he is.
Tyreek's
You're
not
right.
the second best receiver in football.
I agree.
You're
He's
right.
also not the best.
Yeah, good point, Adam.
Thank you. He's 100.
He's not the second best.
I
Probably
agree.
that. I think it's just the order of the top 5. Other than that,
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with either.
I like that Cooper Kupp gets respect in both of them. I feel like a lot of people, like if you ask anyone where does Cooper Kupp go, they don't probably put him in the top 5, but both of them do.
I think
So I like
saying that Madden saying Terry McLaurin is the best wide receiver in the NFC East is crazy. He says he has a higher rating than
that's
A.J.
crazy.
Brown
He's
and
so
CeeDee Lamb. That's
underappreciated.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Think about what he's done with horrific quarterbacks. His
Yeah,
whole
I
career.
agree. If he
That's
played in
fair.
a bigger
That's
market,
fair.
you
If
know
he
what?
played
It's
with-
very similar to A.J.
a better
Brown.
quarterback?
A.J. Brown left,
Yeah.
leaves
Exactly.
Tennessee, goes to play with a better
Flourished.
quarterback, and then he
Imagine
it's crazy.
if Terry McLaurin went to like a competent fucking franchise.
Yeah,
If you had to
dude.
see Terry
Which they
McLaurin-
might be now that they're under new ownership.
True.
If you had to see Terry McLaurin play with one quarterback right now, purely obviously
Patrick Mahomes.
let's not. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
That's an easy
Yo.
fucking question. Like,
he was about to say, you can't say Mahomes. All right, any other quarterback other than Mahomes?
A team that he could actually get traded to.
Josh
Brock
Allen.
Purdy.
Uh,
No, realistically,
honestly,
actually, Josh Allen, maybe Joe Burrow. I don't.
McLaurin. I would like to see him next to Jettas in Minnesota. I think Kirk
That'd
would
be crazy.
blow him with
Yo.
targets. He'd be good.
No, but he could be alpha wide receiver one.
Yeah, he definitely could.
What about the New York Giants?
You know, all right, this might be super unpopular.
What about it?
What about him?
How about
How
it?
about him?
Super, super unpopular opinion. Why are we so aggressively sure Justin Jefferson is better than Devontae Adams?
I don't know.
We're not sure.
Madden
seems
is
like-
sure. They've given him a 99.
Yeah,
He's
the
exactly
stats- the
saying
stats say it,
bro.
Fantasy saying
The
it.
stats say it, bro.
The stats say, yeah, in his first 3 years, but the stats also say Devontae Adams has been arguably the best wide receiver the last fucking 7-8 years.
No, but
So is he just not sexy anymore?
No,
no.
Justin
Jettas
Jefferson
is
has
on-
the ability, and he's
and the
5
numbers.
years younger.
The numbers. Jettas' numbers are better than Devontae Adams, and he's on like all-time pace in terms
And,
of
and
like what he's
Devontae
done
Adams
by
for a
his
long
age.
time did it with Aaron Rodgers. Like that.
I'm not discrediting
Discredits a
Jettis.
little.
I just think like
Nah,
for
he did it
for
with
for,
Carr,
for
so that's
Devontae
okay.
Adams to not be like to not see him at number 1 amongst people or to not have him higher than even Tyreek
You
It's
think
just-
Devontae Adams should be the clear-cut number 1 receiver in the NFL right now?
I would probably put Jettis as well because of youth. Like, to
Okay.
me, that is being factored in. But I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. I think it's very shocking that it's as aggressively like Jettis.
I think
You
Adams is
ask
better
everyone.
than Jefferson, yeah.
So I'll
But I'm
take
just
Jettis
saying-
because of age, but route running, they're very
Felipe,
similar.
you-
Devontae's bigger,
You
but
would say Devontae's still the best receiver in football.
Oh, yeah, for sure, by far. I think Jettis is
By
really
far?
good.
but that's my point.
I think
right?
Jettis is really good, but, like, again, the reason he's up there and the reason I don't have a problem with him being up there is because of the stats.
Yeah.
Same reason you can't have a problem with Brady being the GOAT because he has 7 rings. Like, I can't have a problem with that, even though I think other guys are more talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yo, we're gonna wrap this up because we got to send it over to our talk with Emmanuel Acho. It's
gonna be fun.
Yo, coming up right now, we're talking to Emmanuel Acho about why Tua is the GOAT. That's the topic.
You said it!
That's why. That's the topic of conversation. So stay tuned right now. Listen in on our conversation with Emmanuel Acho. All right. Well, this guy, he needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give him an introduction
Please do.
anyway.
Please do.
Some have referred to us as his disciples. He might have on
Could
Twitter.
have been him.
done that.
Could have been him.
Former NFL linebacker, host on Speak with FS1, New York Times bestselling author, and a Texas legend.
Dallas legend, baby.
He wasn't a contestant on The Bachelor, but he could have been.
Could have been.
And
Should have
most importantly, the expert on all things social media quarterback. We got Emmanuel Acho. What's going on?
You like that intro?
Oh, fellas, it is a long time coming. A long time coming. Glad to be with y'all, man.
Dude, thanks for
Dude,
coming
yeah,
on.
it's awesome.
It means the world to have you
This
here,
is
dude. Like
insane.
when you reacted to our video of Adam bringing up your take on Twitter, it was exciting for us.
I mean, I cannot wait to just spend 25 minutes talking about Tua and his arm sleeve. I mean,
But first and foremost, to have a second guy from Texas on the podcast, I mean, look,
Is this the first time we've had another Texas guy?
it might be.
Sheesh.
It might be.
Oh, that's not good.
So-
That's
Nah,
not
Osa,
good.
the
Osa
biggest
plays
Wait,
for
where
Dallas.
Felipe or Adam? Which one's my Texas guy?
Right here, right here. Bright orange. Yeah, man. It's the type of respect we don't even have to talk about, bro. It's just like
is it
next
this?
level.
Is it?
Welcome.
And then just sorry, it's gravity. I can't help it. I can't.
Hey, Jack. Hey.
You don't
I
want to
can't help it,
start
bro.
off
It's
on
gravity.
his
It
bad
just
side.
does it. I don't
it's
know.
all good. Florida's best state.
Yeah. No, Felipe's always he's a Texas truther. He's always preaching Texas stuff.
course.
But anyway, we'll get right into it
Got
here.
some things to talk about.
Obviously, how we got connected was you had brought up the whole, the take about what Justin Herbert being a social media quarterback. So we want to know from you, can you define for us what it means to be a social media quarterback?
We're bringing it back.
Man, being a social media quarterback is not the insult everybody has made it out to be. Being a social media quarterback or a social media anything simply means that you get more praise on social media than the reality of your actual performance. That's it. And I live in Hollywood now, bro. There are people that are social media famous, right? I'd be like, yo, you got 10 million followers on social media, but we go to the club and don't nobody recognize you.
Yeah,
but they say, what's up to me? You can be social media rich. Y'all know them cats.
Yeah.
They be stunting like this, stunting like that, but then you go to their crib, it's like, so, yeah, when it's like, when I say social media quarterback, it's the social media clips that we see don't actually tell the truth of the story of your performance. People just took social media quarterback and ran with it as an insult. But I'm like, yo, if you really look at the stats and the facts, it's just that social media is telling one story and the truth is telling another.
God
So tell us now why, when we were talking about this, when this came up, it was about Justin Herbert. What makes Justin Herbert a social media quarterback?
Again, I haven't used that term in a while. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the season.
You gotta backtrack. You gotta
It'll
backtrack
come
a little
back.
bit.
But here's what it is. In all honesty, for me, it was like, yo, the clips online are amazing. I mean, Herbert's throwing freaking post corners on a dot. I mean, he's throwing switch routes, just bing. He's throwing skinny post bang gates. I mean, it's perfect. He's rolling out to his right, throwing dimes to Mike Williams, toe tapping. But then you get into the red zone and you miss the easy dig route in the back of the end zone, and now y'all got to settle for 3.
Happy Adam.
It's like, so on social media, you saw the freaking bang gate dime 55 yards in the air. You saw the post corner route where he's rolling to his right and he hits Mike Williams perfectly. I mean, it is beautiful. But what they don't show you is throwing the swing pass behind Austin Eckler. So now Eckler has to turn this way to catch it instead of staying this way to catch it, gets tackled, you settle for 3. So the reason I said that Herbert was a social media quarterback was because if you only see him on social media, you are enamored with the talent. But every day after the game, I see all 22. So I'm watching like, hey, what actually happened during the course of the game, and why are the Chargers not as good as they're supposed to be?
And like it's not a knock on Justin Herbert because those highlights are stuff that most players would only dream of doing, like pulling off, like rolling to the right, throwing 6 yards down the field on a dot right next to the sideline.
Correct.
But it's just the fact that we all know. I mean, we see Justin Herbert highlights every Sunday, and you're like, this guy's insane. But if you watch the full game,
so why can't Dak get that kind of love, bro?
Because he's on the Cowboys,
all
bro.
All I see is interceptions. Dude threw 15 interceptions. 5 of them were like drops by receivers.
That's the opposite end of the spectrum.
That's what I was about to say.
Social media, Dak was getting crushed.
Yes.
But then if you really look at it, wait, they put up 40 points here, 40 points there. They got the number one offense when Dak plays.
No one talked about that playoff game against the Bucks.
Correct. It can work for you, against you. I know that we only talked about Herbert, but I said, and I'm close with his team, Justin Fields is really flirting with that social media quarterback type of
we don't like that.
I vividly remember it was the Bears playing the Lions. They were up 24-17. The Bears were about 10 minutes, 32 seconds left. March down the field, get 3. March down the field, get 7. Or just punt and stay up 7. Instead, Justin Fields scrambles, throws off his back foot, pick 6, Jeff Okudah. We don't talk about that.
No.
We talk about is the very next drive when Justin Fields runs 60 freaking yards for touchdown run. That's all you saw on social media. Oh my God, that run. But if you really watch the game, he only had to make that run because he threw a bad pick 6 and the Bears inevitably lose. But if you don't throw the pick 6, you don't have to make the run and you never lose the game. So it's more than just Herbert.
But I think that could apply to so many different quarterbacks and so many of these major positions. We talk about Joe Burrow all the time, and Joe Burrow is definitely an elite quarterback, but then you analyze the stats or you look at what he's doing, at least in the fourth quarter in these playoff games, the team is also what's getting him there. He's not getting there because you're the Joe Burrow guy. But I'm just saying, there's so many of these social media arguments that can go up for or against these quarterbacks. And Dak, I agree, is someone that's underappreciated strictly because he's the Cowboys quarterback.
It's also fantasy, too.
Yeah,
Justin
for
Fields.
sure.
Well, that was the Fields thing, because I remember when Fields broke off that long run, and that's what, a 70-yard run, you get 7 points, and then the touchdown, you get 6 more.
100%.
That's what people care
Well,
about.
we're only talking about quarterbacks right now. Do you think that there are any other position players that can be considered social media players? I know one time Jack brought up someone else. Yeah, go for it.
There's an argument you could say Trevon Diggs. There's an argument to be had there.
That's exactly what Jack said a couple months ago.
Last season, I said that Trevon Diggs is the opposite of a social media corner, and the fact that everyone kind of shits on him. He's getting burned by this guy, or it was some practice squad wide receiver. I remember last year.
Oh, you said
burned Trevon Diggs in the end zone, and someone's like, "Oh my God, Trevon Diggs is cooked." Blah blah blah. I'm like, he actually is one of the better coverage corners I feel in the league, but he gets no credit because
he's on the Cowboys.
On the Cowboys, he gets a lot of shit. But maybe you're the opposite. I don't know if you think the opposite now.
He's one.
Yeah.
Well, it's positively and negatively.
Right.
The 10 pick year was oh, snap, this dude picks every pass thrown his way. Then when you really watch the game, it's ooh, he getting double moved to death. Last year it was
the opposite.
He can't cover anybody.
Yeah.
And yes. So I would say Diggs falls into that category. He could fall into that category. For me, it's Herbert, Fields, Diggs. Those are the ones where, and really to be a social media anything, it's just that your highs are so high that we just kind of turned a blind eye to your lows.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yes.
Yeah, some people call us a social media podcast. I don't know how to feel about that one, personally.
We're big on social.
That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes sense.
Exactly.
Bruh, it truly, though, it's not even, it's so funny because there's really, there's social media TV shows. Y'all know how it is.
Yeah,
even sports shows. The clips on socials, oh, dang, I got to watch that. Then you watch that 60-minute show and you're like, This show whack. It'd be like that.
So all I'm hearing right now is we're backing up everything I've ever said about Tua because all the stats point to why he's fucking elite.
Tua once.
That's what I'm thinking.
I was about to bring up Tua
right, go
because
ahead.
yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say you analyzed at least the big numbers. Justin Herbert and Tua pretty similar stats in terms of touchdowns, INTs, yards. If you multiply those 4 more games for Tua, he's gonna have more yards than Justin Herbert. They're all the fucking same. But with that being said, what does a Tua full tattoo arm sleeve do for his upcoming season? Because I know you're high on Tua, but I'm just curious. Because right now it looks like he's got a full tribal tattoo. And if it's a real tribal tattoo, that thing hurts. Okay?
The Rock, bro. The Rock has that.
Like, have you seen the rumors that Tua might have a full tribal sleeve now? Like,
Bro, I ain't seen it yet.
yeah, because he's a fucking psychopath.
I'm saying, right? All the way
so
on Dolphins
deep.
Twitter, we're in a deep dive. It's possible that Tua now has a full sleeve. He's got the shoulder tribal. He's got something going on the wrist. We haven't been able to confirm the full arm. But my question for you is, does a full Tua arm sleeve, tattoo arm sleeve, make him the leading MVP candidate? And why is the answer yes?
It definitely it makes him the leading swag candidate. I don't know about performance, but
with the eye black
makes him the
too.
leading swag. Bruh, if you got a full sleeve, bruh, at quarterback,
I would say,
Facts.
you're doing something right.
but is there an inverse of that though? Name one superstar quarterback that we've seen in a long time that's been successful with the sleeve. I'm thinking Matt Corral. He's got one. He hasn't
Didn't
really
Taylor
done much.
Heineke have his
Taylor
full arm?
Heineke's pretty
Taylor
good.
Heineke, but like for a minute.
I'm just saying, like, if we just look at pure aesthetics, he might be better
No,
than
these are
Patrick
the
Mahomes at this
These
point.
are the advanced analytics. Like, forget everything else. Does the guy have an arm sleeve or not? Like,
Next
that's really
gen
what it comes down to.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah, go for it. Well,
I
I didn't get my. Well, he did answer.
While
Yeah.
we were talking about Tua, I guess obviously, like I said, this whole conversation started around like people aren't giving Tua credit where it's due, whereas they're giving Herbert all this credit on social media. So for this coming NFL season, 2023, who do you think is going to have a better season, Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert?
Tua.
Great question. I analyze seasons based off who will win more games. I believe that winning and losing is a quarterback stat. Because of that, I think Tua will have a better season. Now, if you asking me who's going to throw for more aggregate yards, maybe Herbert. If you're asking me like who's going to make it look better, probably Herbert.
Right.
But I believe winning and losing is based upon quarterbacks. I care about winning. I don't care about, having the most passing yards ever. Keep in mind, usually the league leaders in passing yards don't make the playoffs. Deshaun Watson led the league in passing yards. I believe he went 4-12. Jameis Winston led the league in passing yards before Tom Brady took over.
1 of 1.
The Bucs were bad and bad. So I don't care about how many passing yards. I care about do you win. But I subscribe to the notion that winning and losing is based upon quarterback. So I think Tua will have a better season. Herbert got a ball. Like, y'all don't realize if Herbert don't ball this year, I think more people will jump on all of the 5 of our bandwagon. I just think
We're all on a
we're
wagon
first
together.
to the party. Like, I got there first. I held the door open for my dogs. Matan walked in that. Jack, Adam, Felipe walked in that joint. I think like we were first to the party, but I think other people will arrive at that party this year.
It's
We
so
got a tattoo
interest-
artist in that party too. They're giving
Apparently.
out tribal tattoos.
It's so interesting that you said that. A few months ago around the Super Bowl, we had Trey Wingo on the podcast, and I don't know if you've ever seen his Twitter bio. His Twitter bio, I believe, still says that winning is not a QB stat. And we got into a whole argument about this. I think Jack will agree with you here on this take.
It's the reason I'm a big Joe Burrow over Josh Allen guy. They're big Josh Allen over Joe Burrow guys. And I'm like, all right, it's Josh Allen over the Super Bowl. Look at the playoff head-to-head record. It's a whole thing. I don't even want to get into it.
yeah, but it's weird because Joe Burrow hasn't
At
scored a
what
fourth
point-
quarter
Trey Wingo
touchdown
says
in
it's
the
not
playoffs,
the
but
Bible.
sure.
I
Wait,
love Trey,
all right,
but
so
it's
now
not
we
the
have
Bible.
now we got the balance. We
Emmanuel
got-
Acho was a very well-educated, smart man.
Yeah,
all
from
right?
Texas.
And he's from Texas, and wins our quarterback status. So
When
thank
it
you.
applies to
But
Tua.
so at what point, right? Because Wingo brought up, and it was a great point, Brock Purdy. Niners have a great team. They were winning games. Was it because of Brock Purdy? If we look at that, then,
Obviously.
Brock Purdy's great. But even the game that the Niners lost, Brock Purdy got hurt, and it's going to go down as a Brock Purdy loss. And that wasn't a Brock Purdy loss. He didn't lose the game, right? It was. So at what point?
Christian McCaffrey playing quarterback.
At what point are we going to kind of like break that apart?
Well, I believe in the law of averages. And I think that everything will revert back to its average, even if there's a statistical deviation from the norm. So simply put, more often than not, winning and losing is a quarterback stat. Think about Deshaun Watson went 4-12 in Houston one year, 4-12. But I think the last time I checked, he is still at or above 500. So even with that 4-12 season, he is still not a losing quarterback because the laws of average will eventually balance out. Now, I think here's the real omission that so many people make when you bring up even Brock Purdy.
Give me the omission.
It's not just the job for a quarterback to win a game. The quarterback first has to not lose the game. And the reason winning and losing is a quarterback stat is because quarterbacks lose games. So Brock Purdy, remember when he went in there, he was not losing the game.
Right.
And that mattered. So if you're only looking at one side of the coin and saying, well, how much is this quarterback helping win? You're forgetting the whole aspect that a quarterback can lose a game too. So to me, a quarterback is a great eraser. A quarterback is a guy who can cover a multitude of sins. I truly don't understand how one can suggest winning and losing isn't a quarterback stat, because I'll give you this, then we'll be done with this question. I don't have to tell you about coach, coordinator. I don't have to tell you about roster. I don't have to tell you about play calling, defense. All I have to tell you is this. Name the 2 All-Pros last year and who was in the Super Bowl.
Jalen Hurts.
The 2 quarterbacks that were All-Pros last year were both in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, all the other crap was irrelevant, right? Like, all the other, like, who had the best defense, who had the best. Now, sure, they had rosters, but, like, all the other stuff was irrelevant. Who were the 2 best quarterbacks? Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Who was in the Super Bowl? Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes. Grand opening, grand closing. Like,
it's a good point. I think a lot of people go back to that 2017 year when like the 4 conference championship quarterbacks were
it was like
Nick
Blake
Foles,
Bortles,
Blake
Case
Bortles,
Keenum, Blake Bortles,
and then
you had Brady. But again,
That one
your
graphic.
point to regret the mean, like what's the average? That's not usually what's going on. So you can't just take 1 year in a vacuum either.
I love that.
can't take 1 year in a vacuum, but then you also, if you turn on the tape, Nick Foles in that playoff run played like one of the greatest quarterbacks you will ever see.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, he did what Tom Brady does. I believe the Vikings did get in there. I don't remember the Minnesota Miracle year. I went back to the Eagles-Vikings game. Was that the Minnesota Miracle year?
That was Case Keenum against New Orleans with Stephon Diggs.
Correct. Was Stephon Diggs. If not for a miracle, then Drew Brees is there too. So, like, you know, it'll revert back to the norm, but it's very like you can't be a great quarterback and not win because and again, I don't mean to get lost here, but
Get lost.
the job of a great quarterback, like the great TV host, make everybody around you better.
Thanks.
So if you're that good, then everybody around you would be better as well. I think about the Dolphins. I was talking to a brilliant coach in football, and they were saying YAC is timing plus accuracy. Timing plus accuracy equals yards after catch. So when you look at Waddle and you look at Tyreek having all these yards, timing plus accuracy. It's not just Waddle and Tyreek. The ball got to be there and it's got to be accurate. Shout out to the Dolphins.
Hey, that's facts. And one thing people forget about Nick Foles, from Texas. That's why he's so good. All right, go ahead.
Shout out.
Oh man,
I knew something was
I
coming.
think Felipe knows every person ever born in the state of Texas.
I keep tabs.
All right, I got 2 more questions for you. I guess while we're on the subject, we'll start with this one. While you were talking about that, like you're saying that like Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are the 2 best quarterbacks in football. So I want you to give us, Emmanuel Acho, give us your top 10 quarterbacks in football right now.
Jalen Hurts and Mahomes were the 2 best last year. I would say top 10. Patrick Mahomes is 1, and he stands alone as 1.
Yes. It's a whole
We're all in
hip-hop
agreement.
after that.
If anyone disagrees, you're wrong.
1. 2, Joe Burrow. And if I'm being honest, Joe Burrow is elevated, but he's at 2. Then at 3, 4, I go with Allen and Hurts.
Okay.
At 5, I would go with – this is where it gets tough.
Yeah.
At 5, I would go with Rodgers.
Yeah.
At 6, I would go with Jackson.
Yeah.
At 7, I would go with Herbert. At 8, I would go with Tua. But 8 and 7 could change depending on week 1 of the NFL season. Chargers, Dolphins play each other.
Yeah.
At 9, I would with
better than Trevor Lawrence. Spit.
at 9, I would go with
Dakota.
Dak.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence?
And
Deshaun?
at 10,
Hey, we made it.
I forgot my dog Deshaun. Man, I kind of got to make Deshaun
Reorder
not
it then.
applicable because I haven't seen enough.
Yeah.
All right,
years.
that's fair. That's
But if I got to NA Deshaun, right? Like I'm
Okay.
just
All right.
not applicable. I can't race him. If I weren't going to, I'd put Deshaun at 10.
Okay.
If I'm gonna make Deshaun not applicable, and I'll put Stafford at 10.
Okay.
Cousins is 11.
So
da,
no
da, da, da,
no
da.
Trevor Lawrence. No Trevor Lawrence.
Not yet.
Nah, I need to see more. 1, I need to see more, and 2, y'all gotta look at what Doug Peterson be doing, yo.
Yo, facts.
Like y'all gotta look
yeah.
at what Dougie P be scheming him up, bruh. He be so no disrespect to Trevor Lawrence,
Yeah.
but like Doug be scheming him.
I feel like no one talks about Doug Peterson being in like that upper echelon of best head coaches in the NFL, but he certainly
Look
deserves
what
to
he
be
did
up
with
there.
Carson Wentz, bro. Like,
Yeah,
That's your
and Nick
favorite quarterback.
Foles. And like,
Out of that
Not
list,
close in terms
out of like that top 10 list that you just gave us, what are some of the players that can make the biggest leap this year?
Ooh, I like that. Lamar.
yeah.
Lamar, point blank period. Like,
Easily.
Lamar, if Lamar does what Lamar's capable of doing, right? A first team All Pro, second team All Pro season, goes to a Super Bowl, we would have to now put him at like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
No doubt.
if Lamar does all the crap
He's so
he's capable,
special.
because remember, if I'm not mistaken, y'all probably know better than me, Burrow ain't been an All Pro yet,
Oh,
Yeah,
and Lamar's been a unanimous MVP.
Exactly.
So if Lamar is a unanimous MVP plus plays in the Super Bowl and/or wins it, now you gotta jump him over Allen, Hurts,
Absolutely.
Rodgers, or he would have been not as great. Like Lamar could make the biggest 6-2 jump. If Trevor Lawrence has a 5,000-yard season
oh my God.
and goes to the
Good.
Super Bowl miraculously, he could make up like a 10-3 jump. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, just context on Lamar. I saw this stat yesterday. Most total touchdowns before turning 24.
Yeah.
Lamar, 87. That's by far number 1. Just to give you context on what that is, Patrick Mahomes threw, and I know he missed his rookie year, but Lamar also didn't play much of his rookie year. Patrick Mahomes, 59 compared to Lamar Jackson's 87 total touchdowns.
Jesus Christ.
So, like,
But
Lamar,
rushing touchdowns are probably
total touchdowns,
total
rushing and
touchdowns, yeah,
passing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
again, the next guy
Regardless.
is Justin Herbert at 77. Still, 87, 10 more. So I think it's just a
Crazy.
cool stat
that's
to
a
look
nice
at.
stat that you saw on social
The
media.
Lamar, like the language around Lamar and what he's done or become since that MVP season has gone way too far. Way too far.
All right, I want to shift gears a little bit to what we were talking about early on our podcast before we recorded this. Obviously, the narrative and the conversation, one of the biggest conversations right now is about running back contracts. Yesterday, obviously, a whole bunch of big-name running backs did not get contracts as they were hoping to. So we were talking about our thoughts before, but Emmanuel, I want to get your thoughts on basically, do you think superstar running backs deserve to get paid?
Man, okay, I'll leave us with this conversation before I
Yeah.
got a jet. Let's all have enough freaking maturity to acknowledge 2 things can be true. For every listener that will listen to this, let's all have enough maturity to acknowledge 2 things can be true. Running backs should get more money based upon being in a car crash position. You got to be in contact every single play, and we understand why they do not.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is not fiscally responsible, fiscally wise, nor a wise business economic decision to pay running backs large amounts of money. The most succinct stats I'll give for the listeners is this. Last time there was a Pro Bowl running back on a Super Bowl team was 2013 Marshawn Lynch. Last time there was a first-team Pro running back on a Super Bowl team was 1999 Marshall Faulk.
Oh my
The last
God.
time there was a yard rusher on a Super Bowl team was 2016 LeGarrette Blount. Keep in mind the Patriots have won a Super Bowl since, and Tom Brady, the quarterback for that 2016 Patriots, has won 2 Super Bowls since.
Yep.
You saw a 500-yard rusher, 498 in Damian Williams for the Chiefs, who won a Super Bowl. You saw a 300-yard rusher in Leonard Fournette on the Bucs, who won a Super Bowl. In the last 7 years, you're more likely to win a Super Bowl with a 500 or less yard rusher than you are to win a Super Bowl with a 1,000 or more yard rusher. So just strictly removing the feelings and focusing on the facts, it is not wise to pay a running back an absurd amount of money. And the last greatest truth I'll leave everyone with is this. It's not because we don't appreciate running back. It's because there are too many good ones.
Yep.
That's what it comes down.
Right.
There are too many good running backs. We named it, y'all. There's only about 12 good quarterbacks. And the drop off between the top 5 and 6 is huge. And the drop off after the top 1 is big. Then the next 2 to 4 is big.
Yep.
Running backs, what can
20-something,
Saquon
30.
do that Dalvin Cook can't do?
Yeah.
When you factor in health. So if Dalvin's going to take $7 million, why would I pay Saquon 16? Maybe Saquon can make more man miss in the open field. Is that one man worth $8 more million? No. So it's not that we don't appreciate him. It's just there are too many elite ones.
Yep.
Well
that's a
said.
wonderful
Well
way
said.
to
What a
pick
good
it up.
closing. What a good
You can tell
closing
this
argument.
dude speaks
dude.
for a living. That
That
was
was
nice.
awesome.
was
Yo,
awesome.
Emmanuel, appreciate you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for coming on the pod. I'm so glad. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this
course.
again at some point. Maybe
was
come
Maybe after
NFL
week 1 when
season.
Tua kicks Justin Herbert's ass. I don't know. That could be
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Anyway, thanks for listening to
Hey,
the.
where y'all based out of?
We're in New York. We're in
New York City.
Yep.
Bet. If y'all ever in LA, maybe we'll do it in person. Or if I'm in NY, I'll have my team shout at y'all, man. Y'all keep doing it, dude.
Hell yeah.
Y'all doing a good job, and it's not easy. So y'all keep doing it.
Appreciate it.
Acho.
We'll
Thank
definitely try to link up. Yo, thanks for listening to the Caps Off podcast. We'll see you next time.
I'll see you on social week
See
1.
y'all.
Emmanuel Acho, ESPN 8, the Acho. What was the hottest take or the best thing that he said? Let us know in the comments. Also, we're almost at 10K subs, so share with your friends. We'll see you next time.